Yeah, in fact, actually, this author called Chalmers Johnson, he wrote this book called Blowback. This is, he covers that. Yeah, all the places we sell, give arms to, a lot of times it goes to the wrong hands, and now they're being used against, our own forces. And also, most people do not realize that the United States has like less than 5% of the whole total world population, but we spend 50% of the total money spent on armaments in the whole world. So it's like this is just absolutely unbelievable. But most people don't know that, and a lot of it is, and that's not even including a lot of things that are hidden, like the nuclear weapon, the atomic energy. That's not part of the military budget.
They don't release that information.
Yeah, and the CIA budget, that's not part of the military budget. But they're doing all these bad things. CIA's sending drones, in Virginia, they have these people, directing these drones that are firing bombs and missiles in Pakistan. So, I think people really need to. And of course, Dan Inouye is a big supporter. He's the Armed Services chair, and he's for the military. So, but people that just need to find out a lot more and have to ask a lot more questions and push harder.
I just talked to a friend of mine. I just talked to a friend of mine who was in the military, and I was talking to him about he left consciously. He was having moral issues with it, and I asked him what it felt like, whether or not it was even a fair fight over there that we were battling, and he said, no, it's like me stepping on a cockroach. That's literally the analogy that he used. That they have no chance against us. We're just going over there and invading their country, and they have no defense whatsoever. It's really sad to know that we can just overpower people like that, and
such aggressiveness.
Yeah, such aggressiveness, and no means of retaliation.
Let's take another question.
Well, I wanted to know what even like organizations and groups can do to kind of promote peace, or like another agenda, because I was listening to NPR the other day, and they said even like groups who try and make this contact with like terrorist groups or enemies or whatever we call them to promote peace, they are getting like arrested, and it's illegal because under the Patriot Act you can't have even contact. Americans can't have contact with terrorists. So even to talk to them, or even to somehow try and get, communication, or this is what we're going to tell you about how to make peace, or what to do, or how to make human rights violation claims. I mean, it feels like there's nothing that won't be, just still legal or whatever.
Well, on one college campus, they set up a telephone to, I think it was Palestine or someplace, and people could call up and talk to someone in Palestine. And I think that's very effective if the United States is starting to talk about invading the next country, to have that personal contact with people elsewhere. I think anything you can do to promote peace, anything that's peaceful, if it's growing a garden, if it's learning how to do mediation, if it's anything that's positive, that works for you, I think is what you need to do for peace.
Yeah, the Patriot Act is also accuse first and ask questions later type of act. Mm-hmm. So
That's a very good question. I'm just thinking of something I just spotted in the library downstairs, the February 22nd issue of Newsweek. And the lead article, I think it's Fareed Zakaria, wrote it. In fact, the moderate Muslims around the world have been taking action against the terrorists. They have been trying to do things. It's a fascinating article. People should take a look at it, because in the United States we keep saying, well, why don't moderate Muslims do something? In fact, they've been very active for the last several years. And I think they've probably been a lot more effective in many ways than we have. And they've been doing exactly this, meeting with people. And of course, they can meet with people. They speak the languages that might be involved and so forth. That's really very, very useful. And the other side of it is, I'm just thinking about this Seville conference that I'm heading into, and Danny is too, in Honolulu. What does justice require of us? That is the question that we're going to be looking at. And I think that all of our viewers need to be thinking about this. What does justice require of us? It requires that we take actions, that we inform ourselves, and that we take action. And that could be many different things.
Back on the topic of the Patriot Act and things of this matter, I recently saw on Democracy Now! That there's I'm not sure exactly how far along it is, but there's a new law that's trying to push through about being able to assassinate terrorists without giving them a fair trial, without giving them any rights whatsoever, even in the American public.
Yeah, that's been upon the side that they can now assassinate people they believe to be terrorists. Even if you're an American citizen, you don't have any right to trial or anything like that. You just assassinate.
That directly contradicts so many of our founding fundamental
Basic
ideas.
human right.
That directly violates the Constitution. Like,
But I do definitely agree with the positivity. We all need to live the lifestyle that we think other people should be living. So definitely start a garden. Provide for yourself. Don't rely on the system, because if you don't support it, then don't continue to be supporting it
don't
financially.
watch violent movies.
Don't shop at Walmart.
Don't shop at Walmart. I heard that.
Yeah, there are a lot of things you can do. Yeah, a lot of things.
All right, guys, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. Thanks for tuning in, Hawaii. Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha.